Members, if you'd take a seat, please. Members, take a seat. Good morning, everybody. How's everyone? You can all say great. It's a beautiful day outside. Low humidity. It's nice to have fresh air coming to South Florida here for the winter time. So I'm excited. And welcome to the Palm Beach County Legislative Delegation. If you'd all rise for the pledge. Representative Joe Casello will lead us.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And let's see. Vicki, if you would call the roll call, please.
Senator Berman. Senator Harrell. Here. Senator Polsky. Here. Senator Powell. Representative Caruso.
Here.
Representative Casello.
Present.
Representative Edmonds. Representative Roth.
Here.
Representative Silvers.
Here.
Representative Skidmore.
Here.
Representative Gossett-Seidman. Here. Representative Snyder. And Representative Waldron.
Okay, they keep talking about this script I have, and I'm still looking for it. Okay. Well, good. Let's see. Okay, welcome to the first Palm Beach County Legislative Delegation meeting for the upcoming 2023 session, which will take place in March, April, and a little bit of May in 2023. I want to thank the City of Boca Raton for hosting this, and Mayor Scott Singer, who is here today. Welcome, Mayor, and congratulations for hosting our meeting today. I think we're going to begin with a presentation for Dr. Alonso. So if Dr. Alonso, there you are. You want to come up? I could deliver it to you. Okay. Let's see.
When you said presentation, I was afraid you were going to make me give a presentation.
No, Dr. Alonso. We just want to thank you for your hard work these last 2 years during the pandemic.
Chair Caruso. There's some new members of our delegation. Can we have a moment for the delegation members to introduce themselves?
Well, I think Dr. Alonso's got to leave, and then we'll go into that.
Great.
If that's okay, Representative. So we weren't sure if you had to leave, so we're going to take care of this business. And
it would be good if I could leave, yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, we'd like to thank you for your hard work these last 2 years. And ladies and gentlemen, when I say hard work, I mean undying effort. Through it all, we had hundreds of meetings, delegation meetings on the phone. You were there for everyone, giving us the updates, giving us the direction, and you know those, and you were instrumental in getting us vaccinations. Your vaccination efforts were unheralded, were just unsurpassed. So we want to thank you for that. You keep us safe. And not only do you keep us safe here in the county, you kept us informed, you kept us healthy, and you kept us at peace. And for that we are totally grateful, and we thank you from all of our hearts. So I think I could say that on behalf of the delegation. So we have this plaque. I shall read it. In recognition of your many years of dedication and diligence serving Palm Beach County, and for your eternal patience with the Palm Beach County Legislative Delegation. The Legislative Delegation wishes you a long and happy retirement, and you will truly, truly be missed.
Thank you so much. It is, believe me, it is my honor to have served with you and to have done my job. That's what I'm supposed to do as director of the Palm Beach County Health Department, take care of all our residents and visitors. So thank you so much.
You do it so well. You want to get a picture? Let's get a picture. Let's come out in front here.
How you doing, Joe?
What did you play? Yep.
Okay, now we'll move on to introductions, and we'll begin with Representative Rick Roth.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Representative Rick Roth. I'm a new, kind of new in the sense I have a new district. A lot of us do District 94. I am a native of Palm Beach County, but I'm also a native of Belle Glade, Florida, and I am so excited that I represent now my hometown of Belle Glade, so now I get to represent all the Glades and represent all the agricultural land too. Unfortunately, cows don't vote, so there's not that many people out there, but my two aides are Sheila Jackson, she's not here today, and my new my district aide is Will Ponsolt. He started yesterday, but he's had a wedding engagement, imagine that. He's not getting married, but he's going to a free party in South Carolina. So my district is the largest district in Palm Beach County. My northern boundary is the Martin County line. My western boundary is the Henry County line. In eastern part of Palm Beach County, my southern boundary is Southern Boulevard, and my east boundary is the Turnpike. So I have all of unincorporated, most of North Palm Beach County, and it's really going to be a great year for those people, in my opinion, and I really look forward to this new delegation working together for the good of Palm Beach County.
Thank you, Representative, and apparently you've already given your staff their first day off of work, so that's good. That's good. I'd like to come work for you someday. Same terms. Newly elected Representative Catherine Waldron.
Hi, it's great to be here right now. It's a little bit like drinking from a fire hose, but I represent the new District 93, which was a lot of what Matt Wilhite had. That's Wellington, Western Lake Worth, and Green Acres. And I have been able to hire a couple of my two staff people, one of whom is here. He'll be up in Tallahassee with me. Some of you may remember he was a state representative a few years ago. John Considine, if you want to stand up, he's here. He'll be going with me to Tallahassee, and my district person is Manuel Olave, who is not here. He's with his mother who's sick. So, but he'll be helping me in the district, and he helped me during the campaign. So I'm looking forward to working with them and with everybody here as well. And for those of you who don't really know me, I was the port commissioner. I was in my second term as port commissioner when this opportunity arose. So I'm just really happy to be here and I'm looking forward to working with everybody. So thanks.
We look forward to working with you. And long-standing Representative Kelly Skidmore.
Good morning. I'm State Representative Kelly Skidmore. I represent District 92, which is western unincorporated Palm Beach County, Boca Raton, Delray Beach, and Boynton Beach. Representative Roth, I hope you take care of my people, my constituents that I've lost out in the Glades, but know that you have a partner should you need anything, because I fell in love with that area of the county while I was able to serve it. My two legislative aides are Dr. Gwen Gonzalez, who's not here today, and Amy Chamberlain. I could introduce my former aides because there are several of them here, but I'll leave that alone. Looking forward to another term with all of you working together, and just so proud of how Palm Beach County keeps it real.
Thank you, Representative. And next, our Lady in Red, Senator Gail Harrell.
Good morning, and thank you all for being here today. I'm State Senator Gail Harrell. I have a new district, 31, and I have really moved further down into Palm Beach County. I represent parts of St. Lucie County, all of Martin County, and now I am so delighted to have such a wonderful section of Palm Beach County, and that includes everything north of PGA Boulevard, following PGA out to Military Trail. Then I go south on Military Trail to North Lake. On North Lake, I go west over to the Turnpike, and then I go south again all the way down to Southern Boulevard. So I have a very large section. I go all the way out to the Glades, including the wonderful city of Pahokee. And it is a delight to be here and to serve the residents of Palm Beach County.
Thank you, Senator. We'll come down to the end here to newly elected Peggy Gossett-Seidman. You forgot your staff.
I do want to
Okay.
introduce my staff.
Please.
I do have two staff with me today, Karen Sweeney, who is my Chief Legislative Aide, right over here, and Carrie Lira, who kind of handles all our budget items. So all those budget requests we'll be hearing, Carrie will handle for us. And then in the district, I do have Ann Baldock. You may know her as having been she has been legislative aide to Mary Lynn Magar, who represented part of Palm Beach County.
Thank you, Senator. Now newly elected Peggy Gossett-Seidman.
Thank you, Representative Caruso. I'm Peggy Gossett-Seidman, Highland Beach native, lived in Highland Beach and Boca Raton 31 years, raised 3 children there. My district is District 91, a newly drawn district, which encompasses part of Representative Caruso's past seat and part of western Boca Raton. It basically is the ocean to the turnpike of Boca Raton. Northern edge is the C-15 canal, which separates Delray Beach from from Boca Raton, and to the south, the county line. And I look forward to working with the Boca Raton Council, the mayor, and the Highland Beach Council. And then we have a little bit of a notch of unincorporated Palm Beach County to the west near the Boca Raton Medical Center out in West Boca. I look forward to representing this wonderful area. It is just a paradise. It is just heaven in our southeast county. And my aides will be Andres Montero, who's here today, and he assisted me in a 10-month-long campaign, as I had a primary and a general. And I have another rep who we're working on as the district aide. So I look forward to everything. My number is widely known and out there, so if I can do anything, please let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Representative David Silverman.
Silvers. It's okay, Chair.
What did I say?
It's
All
all
these
good.
years.
All these years,
David.
brother.
Sorry,
It's
David.
okay. You know.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's silver. Sometimes it's Silverman.
Yeah.
It's Silvers.
I've only been doing this a day or two. So.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving. I'm State Representative David Silvers from House District 89. The district runs from West Palm Beach down to Lantana, borders on southern down to Hypoluxo, Dixie to approximately Military. This is going to be my 4th term, so I'm a senior, and I look across the dais and I see one other senior, Representative Roth. Good to see you, class of 16. I do want to mention my legislative aide, Christy Fernley. She made the trek into here, and I want to say thank you for coming down and, staying safe during those hurricanes. Thanks for coming. Christy, you want to stand up and give a bow to everybody? No? Yeah. Christy's been doing this for a hot minute, so I appreciate it. Thank you for all your hard work up in Tallahassee, and I look forward to the upcoming session. I look forward to working with everybody up here on the dais. It's an honor to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Silvers. Now, Representative Joe Casello.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Joe Casello, State Rep for District 90, which encompasses Boynton Beach, Delray Beach, goes out to the Barrier Islands. I'd like to start off by thanking the Mayor Singer for having us here today, hosting this meeting. I'd like to welcome our new members to the Palm Beach County delegation here. We work as a team here. We put bipartisan efforts into all our efforts, making the Palm Beach area as best as we can. So my aide here is here today. We acknowledge our aides, but, the truth be told, we're really nothing without them up there in Tallahassee. They play such an important part in us being successful. My aide here today is Troy Gross. Troy, stand up, give a little wave there. Troy's been in for a long time. He worked for Representative Hager about 100 years ago or so. And my other aide is Brian Bees, and they've really been a asset to what we try to accomplish here. We look forward going up to Tallahassee this next session, Chair. And, it's nice, Mike and I have been friends for a while here, and having almost similar last names, we sometimes cover each other for roll calls up there, so it works pretty well. So, so thank you, Chair.
Thank you. And next, my vice chair who served alongside of me this past year, Senator Tina Polsky. Congratulations on your victory.
Thank you, Chair. Hello, everyone. I am Tina Polsky. I represent now District 30 in the Senate. I have Boca Raton, south of Glades Road, all east to west, all the way. And the rest of my district is northwest Broward County. So I'm lucky enough to have two delegations to be a part of. I wanted to introduce my staff. The senators get three, in case people didn't realize. We have 538,000 constituents after redistricting. So we have J.J. Piscadlo, Robert Mariaja, and Cariana Ingram. Cariana is brand new to everyone, so this is her first delegation meeting. J.J., J.J. And Robert used to work for Representative Skidmore, so we will be very excited to have J.J. and Cariana in Tallahassee, and Robert holding down the fort here in the district during session. And welcome to my new colleagues, and of course I'm very happy to be reelected and to continue working with all of you. I started with Representative Caruso, Representative Casello, and here we are continuing to plow through. I was a state rep for 2 years, a state senator for District 29 for 2 years, and now have a 4-year term for District 30. So welcome, everyone, and looking forward to our first meeting today.
Thank you, Vice Chair. And I'm Mike Caruso, but before I get going, Senator Powell is not here today, but I wanted to introduce his staff, and if you'd stand up, Kirsty Miles. There you go. Diane Andre. And let's give him a big hand representing Bobby Powell. And that's a hard thing to do. I'm State Rep Mike Caruso. I've District 87. It's a new redistricted area. It runs from Manalapan, Hypoluxo, all the way up to Jupiter, and includes Palm Beach Gardens out to the Turnpike. So it's a little different for me, but I enjoy it. I now live and reside in West Palm Beach at One City Plaza, I think it's called. And I'm very excited to live the urban life, and it's kind of cool. And city streets and all that. Walk to dinner instead of get in the car and drive. So I've served. This will be my 3rd term and my 5th year. So I'm excited to get back to Tallahassee and do the work that we were tasked to do and are tasked to do. And we've got a lot of work to do this year. So I'm looking forward to it. So let's move on. Oh, my staff, where are they? Stephen Caruso, my district aide, back there. Unrelated. Yeah, he got so vetted to make sure he wasn't related. I think we had to do DNA tests. Yeah, and then Walter Boykus, my legislative aide. You got to stand up, Walter.
Walter, come on, Walter.
There you go.
Walter!
Yeah. So, thank you, and thanks for all your hard work, all the staff out there, because without you, we don't get a lot done. So let's see, we're going to move on to the election of the new chair, or if I could skip that part, then I stay on as chair, right? No. Let's see. Okay, so according to the delegation's bylaws, the office of chair shall alternate yearly between a Democrat and a Republican member, and the election shall be by roll call with the majority of members present and voting. With the quorum being present, I would like to open the floor for nominations for the office of chair of the Palm Beach County Legislative Delegation. At this point, I will open the nominations for chair. Do I have any nominations?
Mr. Chair?
You're
if I may,
recognized.
I'd like to nominate the Honorable Senator Tina Polsky from District 30 as our next chair of our delegation.
Okay, we accept the nomination. Is there any other nominations? And is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a second. Any nominations from the floor? There being none, I will close the nomination process. So we'll take a vote. A yes vote is in favor of the nomination. A no vote will be in opposition. Vicki, will you please call the roll for a recorded vote?
Senator Harrell. Yes. Senator Polsky.
Yes.
Representative Caruso.
Yes.
Representative Casello.
Yes.
Representative Roth.
Yes.
Representative Silvers.
Yes.
Representative Skidmore. Yes. Representative Gossett-Seidman.
Yes.
Representative Waldron.
Yes.
Having received the majority of votes by members present, Senator Tina Polsky has been duly elected chair of the Palm Beach County Legislative Delegation. She's good. What are we doing?
Give her the gavel.
Got to give the gavel.
The gavel, sir, the gavel.
Really? We had to do that, huh? Okay. I'm still the chair for a second, aren't I? Okay. At this point, I'll open the floor for nomination for the office of vice chair of the Palm Beach County Legislative Delegation.
Chair, I want to make a nomination.
You're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. It's my honor to nominate our, obviously our member with the most experience for many, many years in the Florida House, and having been serving in the State Senate since 2018, Honorable Senator Gail Harrell.
All right. Is there a second? I second. Tina Polsky seconds. Are there any nominations from the floor? So we're going to accept Senator Harrell's nomination. There being no nominations from the floor, I will close the nomination process. Vicki, will you please call the roll for a recorded vote?
Yes. Senator Polsky.
Yes.
Representative Caruso.
Yes.
Representative Casello.
Yes.
Representative Roth.
Yes.
Representative Silvers.
Yes.
Representative Skidmore. Yes. Representative Gossett-Seidman.
Yes.
Representative Waldron.
Yes.
A majority of the delegation votes in favor. Senator Gail Harrell has been elected vice chair of the Palm Beach County Legislative Delegation. At this time, it is my pleasure to turn the gavel over to the new chair, Senator Tina Polsky, to preside over the remainder of our delegation hearing.
Could I have a point of order, please?
You're recognized, sir.
I'm feeling in a good mood, so I wanted to speak up and say that I think that the record should reflect that both candidates were elected by unanimous vote.
Well, thank you. It's so accepted. Let the record show that both the chair and the vice chair were elected unanimously by the entire delegation. So at this time, it's my pleasure to turn the gavel over to the new chair, Senator Tina Polsky.
Just wanted to do that. Thank you so much. Before you go anywhere, Representative Caruso, I wanted to thank you for all the work that you did this last year as the chair of the legislative delegation. It's been an honor to serve with you as we were freshmen together 4 years ago. Here we are in our 5th term. Who would have believed it? So I would like to present you with this beautiful plaque in honor of your service as the chair of the Palm Beach County delegation.
Thank you.
It says, that's exactly that. You're welcome.
Does anybody want to get a photo of this? No.
We'll do it later. Okay, we'll hold on to that.
Walter, come run up there for a second. Thank you.
And I turn it over back to you if you would like to say a few remarks about your past year.
I got this 20-page speech, so I appreciate that. Thank you, Chair, Madam Chair. It's been my honor to serve as chair of the Palm Beach County Legislative Delegation during this past year's session. With another year of record budget of Florida for a $109 billion budget, the delegation was very successful in bringing back critical funds to Palm Beach County. We've accomplished a lot for the county, from Hypoluxo's septic conversion, Riviera Beach lift stations and water treatment, Delray Beach park improvements, mental health service funding like the Falk Center, helping the developmental disabled with Vocahab Center funding, on and on, stormwater systems in Palm Beach Gardens, infrastructure improvements to Lake Clark Shores, and there's so much more. But we've got a lot of work to do left to do, from flooding, stormwater management, derelict vessels, submerged land acquisitions, Lake Worth Lagoon, sand dredging in Palm Beach shores, and sand erosion. And we just, with the last storm, Hurricane Ian, the Addison in Boca Raton lost a lot of its beach, if not most all of it. And so we've got some Army Corps of Engineer work to do there. But I want to thank Palm Beach County Government Affairs, Ed Chase, County Administrator Virginia Baker, Deputy Administrator Ton Von Laren for all their hard work for the county, from Lake Worth Lagoon projects, hurricane updates, to mobilizing county resources, their work involved with with COVID-19, debris clearage from the storms, food drives. We are blessed as a county to have such great leadership at the head of our county. And so give them a hand, yes, please. And we don't hear a lot about them because it runs so smoothly. And when things run smooth, nobody complains, so you don't hear them. But also want to thank Rachel Bonlaren for her hard, successful efforts in getting funding for dental school at Palm Beach State College, $25 million. It's going to be a huge asset to Palm Beach County, and that's a big win for Palm Beach County, and I want to thank her for doing that. Lastly, I want to thank our Executive Director, Vicki Nolan, my right-hand woman. Give her a hand. When it comes to making sure everything goes forward smoothly, you are the queen of that. And without you, Palm Beach County would not have an organized voice in Tallahassee, and we would not accomplish what we have in the past years. So we thank you, and I feel like we should have a plaque for you, and that's probably...
If I'd have known, I'd have brought my crown.
Yeah, okay. But we want to thank you for your hard work, so thank you. And it's been an honor and a privilege to be one of the 13 who serve Palm Beach County in the Florida Legislature, and I'm very proud to serve with my colleagues here, and past and present. on behalf of all Palm Beach County's residents. And I want to thank each of you and our newly elected chair, Senator Tina Polsky, for your service. And, as I have concluded my tenure as chair, I know that we will be in very good hands. So I turn it back to you, Madam Chair, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Representative Caruso. Very well said. All right, well, with that, we will get to the business of the Palm Beach County delegation. We have to approve the minutes from last year. So members, are there any edits, additions, or deletions that need to be made to the September 2nd, 2021, October 28th, 2021, November 10th, 2021 minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the aforementioned legislative delegation minutes say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, minutes are approved. Next, pursuant about the Criminal Justice Commission. Pursuant to the Palm Beach County Ordinance 8816, Section 216A11, the Palm Beach County Legislative Delegation is responsible for appointing a delegation member to the public sector membership to serve on the Criminal Justice Commission, the CJC. We haven't had anyone express an interest yet, so hopefully, as I describe it, someone will, to be appointed to the Criminal Justice Commission. The term for the CJC appointment is as long as the delegation members wish that person to serve, which is a 2-year term, or the appointed member wishes to resign. Criminal Justice Commission meetings are held on the second Monday of each month, excluding holidays, at 8 a.m. at the Palm Beach County Governmental Center in West Palm Beach. Is there anyone who would like to volunteer for that position? Thank you so much, Representative Skidmore. Anyone opposed? Everyone in favor? Aye, aye.
Aye.
Excellent. Congratulations, Representative Skidmore, and thank you. Okay. We're moving on to the next subject. If there is anyone wishing to address the delegation during the public comment section of today's agenda, if time allows, please fill out a blue request form and provide it to Janaea Mercado with the delegation office. Janaea, please stand up. Hello. By the way, welcome to the Palm Beach County delegation. She is newly hired as part of our group, and we appreciate all your efforts. Did I pronounce your name correctly? Excellent. Okay. On the subject of local bills, the local bill hearing will be held on Thursday, January 12th at the Els Center for Excellence in Jupiter. The deadline for submittal to the delegation office for all local bills is Tuesday, December 20th, 2022 at noon. If you have any local bill questions, please contact Victoria Nolan in the delegation office. Replays of today's meeting will be shown today at 2 p.m. and Sunday, November 20th at 2:30 p.m. on PBC TV, which is available on Comcast Channel 20, AT&T Channel 99, and streamed 24/7 on the county's website, pbcgov.com. Members, does anyone have any announcements that they would like to share at this time? No. Okay. Yes, sorry. Representative Skidmore, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to recognize Senator Berman's legislative aide who is here, Abby Ross.
Thank you. That is my bad. I should have done that. And by the way, just so there's no confusion, Senator Berman and I share the city of Boca Raton. She is the northern side, I'm the southern side. So just so that is clear. And then, of course, she has Boynton and Delray, et cetera. And the Glades, I'm so sorry. Wellington and the Glades. So I saw Mayor Singer leave, or is he still here? He had to go. Okay, well, unfortunately, we missed giving him the opportunity to welcome us to Boca Raton. And we're very happy to be here. This is normally where the city council sits, so the tables are turned a little bit. But anyway, thank you to the city of Boca and to Mayor Singer, who, by the way, was reelected without opposition to another 3-year term. Municipal elections in Boca are in March. Everyone needs to sign up for vote by mail again. It is not automatic anymore. You have to sign up every 2 years for the next general election. And in the city of Boca, we will have one municipal seat because another one, Fran Knockles, was elected without opposition. So we have one seat in contention in March in the city of Boca, just FYI. Okay, so we will start with our constitutional officers, and I would like to welcome the Honorable Ann Gannon, Tax Collector of Palm Beach County, to give us some remarks.
Good morning. My name is Ann Gannon, and I'm the Palm Beach County Tax Collector. My office is responsible for collecting taxes from every entity authorized to levy taxes in Palm Beach County. This year we project we're going to be collecting $5.1 billion. And no, you can't spend it. That goes to someone else. We also issue driver's license and titles and registrations. We currently have 350 employees, and we have 6 offices throughout our county. One of the issues that we're charged with doing are selling tax certificates for delinquent properties. And typically in Palm Beach County, it's about $85 million that people do not pay their taxes, and we sell them to investors. And the reason I'm talking about this issue is there's potentially going to be a bill that changes the process and procedure under this. Let me just share with you that after speaking with tax collectors throughout the state of Florida, these past 5 years have been the most successful in delinquent tax sales that we've ever had. This process is not broken. You do not need to fix it for us. It works the way it should. In fact, it's a model throughout America. There are many other states who use our process for tax certificate sales. The bill that was filed last year, Palm Beach County actually stood to lose $1.7 million if that bill had been passed. And I will share with you the bidder who's pushing this bill and the potential changes to the statute and the process, doing it for one reason, to create an unfair advantage for his company, which the courts in 2 court decisions, one which was just issued in federal court, that the process that he wants to put in the statute, the judge said it was ludicrous and ridiculous that tax collectors actually have the authority to run their own sales based on the local needs and how our tax sale is conducted. We still have one tax collector who does a tax sale on the courthouse steps. There's no one else in Florida that does that. They're computer generated, the tax sale. So please, if you have questions about this bill, come and see us. There are many tax collectors that will be in Tallahassee during session, and our lobbyists will be there also. We will be glad to sit down and explain to you how the process really works, and that it's not broke. Don't fix it. We want to feel safe, just like everybody else does in Tallahassee when you walk away at the end of the year. And I would suggest if you have a question, I'd be glad to answer it here today.
Yes, Vice Chair Harrell, you're recognized.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. And the only question I would ask was, has the Taxpayers Association taken a stand on this bill?
We actually haven't seen the actual bill this year, but we took a stand on the bill against it last year.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Yes, Representative Crusoe.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. And Madam Tax Collector, you mentioned a $5.1 billion
Yes, sir.
of collections we'll have this year.
It's property taxes, tangible taxes. It's the fees that we collect for driver's license, titles, registration, any of the products that we are required to put in place in our office. There are typically fees that are available, but the property taxes are not, we don't set the taxes. All we do is collect them.
And my question is, it's up or down from, as compared to last year?
It's up a little bit.
Okay.
And some people say, it's interesting, I've talked to people whose taxes went down, and I've talked to people whose taxes went up. And I'm sure that my good friend Dorothy can explain some of that to you, because she's the appraiser.
Okay.
So thank you very much. And please give us a call if any of you have a question.
You recognize Representative Roth?
Chair, thank you, Chair. I hate to follow up, but I want to follow up. Ann Gannon, thank you for the great job you do. I participate in paying my taxes and renewing licenses for all my commercial vehicles and all that, and you do a great job, and the staff that you have out in the Glades they're bar none are the best, so thank you for the great job you're doing. I would like for you to follow up with us and let us know what that increase is. I've heard stories, and of course, we don't know what to believe, that it could be as much as a 10% increase, like a $500 million increase from the year before. So if you could give us that
I'll
number,
be glad to.
I appreciate it.
Yes,
Thank you.
I'll be glad to get that information to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Next up, we have Dorothy Jacks, property appraiser, Palm Beach County.
Good morning. I was concerned you weren't going to applaud for me after you applauded for my friend Ann. It's a pleasure to be with you all. As you know, I like to address you each year just to give you a little bit of a sort of prequel to what is coming from the Property Appraisers Association. Ann gave a great explanation of her office's scale. For you, I will say we value 650,000 real property parcels and about 50,000 tangible personal property parcels annually, with a staff of 210 in 5 office locations. It has been definitely one of our busiest years here in 2022, but all in all, we're pleased. The number of petitions filed objecting to one's value actually didn't increase significantly this year. We were surprised at that ourselves, but also happy because it helps the process move just a little bit faster as we move into the valuations for 2023. I just have a very short report today. I wanted to first say thank you for increasing the widow-widowers exemption last year. If you recall, the amount had not changed since the 70s, and it went from a $500 exemption to a $5,000 exemption, which means that it went from being about a $10 savings to a $100 savings to widows and widowers across the state. We will be putting that into place on January 1st for 2023, and we'll be notifying our residents and even doing some further outreach to see if there's anybody who has not yet applied for the exemption who now may say, wow, $100 is worth a trip to the office or a phone call or a mailing to us. So thank you for that. I think there will be some small changes, tweaks, if you will, to some of the exemption language you'll see this year. We want to clean up a little bit of language regarding a veterans exemption, a total and permanently disabled combat-related veterans exemption, where currently you can get a proration on the taxes that you might pay prior to receiving your benefit if you are moving from in Florida to another home in Florida. That same rule does not apply to those who are permanently disabled veterans moving from other states, and it would just clean up a little bit of that language. You'll see that come. We also want to support the idea of a statewide database of vacation rentals. Vacation rentals, in fact, Ann and I work closely in Palm Beach County on making sure that those who are renting full-time do not have a homestead exemption. So that would be helpful to us if that was a statewide process to all of the property appraisers. We already work with our counterparts in the other 66 counties pretty regularly on issues around when people are moving. So it would just be a helpful thing if you do see that come across your desks. There's some other issues we're carefully watching. I know I've spoken to you before about timeshares. Any significant change in the way that we value timeshares, which is of course set in the statute, would impact some of our smaller communities in Palm Beach County. So if that comes up, please let us know. We'd be happy to explain to you how timeshares are valued now and why making any any wholesale change to the way they're valued could impact local government significantly. Palm Beach Shores is a good example. A lot of their tax base comes from timeshares. So we like to watch that very carefully here in Palm Beach County. I'll also mention hurricane relief. There has been a lot of talk about additional benefits that may be available or made available to those impacted, especially by Ian. We are not at all, we have no issue with any of the ideas. We would just love you to talk to the property appraisers about the ideas before they're approved, only because some of them could severely impact tax rolls in various cities and counties. And if anything is being discussed for future events, we have to think about that for here in Palm Beach County. So certainly I know there was not a lot of damage from Ian other than the tornadoes in Kings Point here in Palm Beach County. However, the implications for further hurricane adjustments is pretty significant. I will tell you there was some good law written after the 04-05 hurricanes that helps people who are in a situation of having catastrophic damage, and those rules are on the books now and are applied every time we have any kind of serious event. So anything additional would be on top of that, so it's worth just having a conversation about it before it happens. You know, so much of what our office does is all in the fine detail, and that's why I'm here. And I really appreciate, trying to help you as much as I can. And I appreciate when you reach out and say, what is this going to do? We can tell you a lot about what it might do here in Palm Beach County, and I know that can be very helpful. As always, my office is helpful with statistics, data, anything you want, reach out to us, and I'll make sure you get anything you need in order to make decisions on issues. I will be in Tallahassee in February, and I'll hope to come and see many of you when I'm there. Thank you very much. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you so much. Anyone? Yes, Representative Roth, you're recognized.
Well, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Dorothy for her great service to the state of Florida. She's been very helpful to me personally in helping me with some legislation, helping people lower their property taxes in the state of Florida. I do have a question about agricultural exemptions. Could you explain to us is there a limited window in which you can file for an agricultural exemption? And could you kind of give us a little more of the detail of that, please?
Sure. So the agricultural classification is a reduction in the level at which we assess your property if you are a bona fide agricultural business. The applications are required to be filed by March 1st of each year. We do take late applications all the way through September 15th. Around September 15th, it's set at the time of the regular petition filing deadline, which moves ever so slightly in the middle of September. But you can file late all the way up till that point if you have what's known as good cause, which in Palm Beach County, everything's good and it's a good cause. So,
can I follow up, please? Thank you, Chair. So, part of the problem that people have in buying property and going into agriculture is they have to wait to get approved. You have to send in your approval, and then it's the following January, right, that you get your ag exemption. So you're telling me that if somebody buys a piece of property in October, they cannot file for agricultural exemption?
Well, they can certainly file, but it won't be for the year they're in. It will be for the next year. January 1st is the tax lien date and affects everything we do, how we value property. If your house isn't finished before the first of the year, you would be land only for the next year. Everything is based on what's happening on the property on January 1st. So unfortunately, right now, there is no allowance for any kind of partial year exemption in 99% of the exemption matters, and classification in this case.
Thank you. Any other questions? Yes, Representative Casella.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Dorothy, good to see you as always. Being a former HOA president, which was a lot harder than being a state representative, Our office would be really interested in working with you and Ann on this statewide vacation rental database, and codifying the way how we do business. The second part is that, have you engaged the Realtors Association in trying to help this along, or could they be a help of getting this base together?
You know, it's a great idea. No, not yet. This is really just an idea that we have brewing in our assessors, our property appraisers association, and it just seems like a very good idea. But that's a very good point. And my office especially has very good relations with our realtors. I mean, I see them as our partners in so many things, and I'll follow up on that.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you being here. Okay, so we will start with scheduled presenters. You have 3 minutes to complete your presentation. If members have questions, they will ask them after your comments have been completed. Please begin your comments by stating your full name clearly for the record. First up, we have Michelle Gold, a parent for Step Up for Students. And on deck is Tom Gallagher, Children's Home Society. So maybe if you want to kind of get near there, and we can keep it flowing. Thank you so much. You are recognized.
Good morning, Chair and members of the delegation. It's an honor to be here. My name is Michelle Gold. I live in Boynton Beach in Representative Casello's district. I want to tell you how Florida Family Empowerment Scholarship for students with unique abilities has helped me to customize my children's education. I am in total awe of this amazing program. As a mom of 2 kids with autism and as a professional recording artist, traveling singer, homeschooling has been the best option for my family. Because the FESUA operates as an educational savings account, we have the flexibility to spend our funds on a variety of ways to meet my children's individual needs. So over the past 6 years, we have used my son Micah, who's age 11, and my daughter Eliabella, age 14. We've used their scholarships for a range of services because of this scholarship, including, and it's kind of a long list, tutoring, one-on-one therapy, musical instruments, music therapy, technology, curriculum, online courses, and most recently, mobile occupational therapy, which comes to our house once a week to work with Eliabella. Both of our kids are thriving. I'm just amazed. I could just cry. For instance, prior to homeschooling, I'm amazed by this program. Micah had severe barriers and anxiety around connecting with other children in his age group. This caused him to struggle in group classes and educational gatherings and even family gatherings of any kind. But since receiving this family empowerment scholarship, the therapy made possible was life-changing. Though he's still learning, he is now thriving in this part-time private school type setting 3 times a week. He's learning how to self-regulate and improve his fine motor skills and connect with other children like I have never seen. Micah is ahead in math by 2 grades. He has taken up 2 instruments and is learning to write 3 languages. Most importantly, in music therapy, he's learning to overcome a fear of reading. Who would have thought? Who would have thunk it? And instead of anxiety, he's learning to embrace his mistakes and difficult transitions of life. My daughter Bella, age 14, is able to join her friends at museums and field trips, something we had never done before, without crying in pain from walking on her toes. She is also learning how to navigate friendships, all 5 of the ones she's made since entering this program. And yes, she does give them all advice on their boyfriends. I want to thank the members of the legislature from the bottom of my heart for continuing to fund this life-changing program and for allowing it to grow. I encourage the delegation to consider extending the spending flexibility for families on the income-based scholarship as well. As a result, I believe that families like mine, who would otherwise experience limitations in their child's growth and education, we're going to have the chance to raise children who are one day going to be a great asset to this community and bring advantages to their communities, as you have all shown me that you've done today. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Ms. Gold. Just stay for 1 minute, please. Is there something specific that you would like the legislature to do coming up? You mentioned increasing spending flexibility. Can you be more specific? Since the program is in place, we'd like to know what we might be facing in the session or what we might propose ourselves.
Mm-hmm. I believe, I'm not particularly sure, but I believe that there's a long waiting list of children looking to still get on the program. I believe school, even after school has begun, there are families who really want the opportunity to customize the education, and they don't know if they're yet on this program because there are just so many who are in need right now in our city. But I don't know the full answer. I would have to ask Julie, who's with me today, to expand upon that.
So I know I speak for my colleagues when I say that we get our best ideas from all of you out there. So, and you are in the program and experiencing it. So if there's a specific legislative request or proposal that any of us can make, please reach out to any of us and let us know. And it's very helpful to have language and very specifics of what you might be looking for, and then we can try to help if it's appropriate.
Thank you, and I really appreciate your funding this program. Thank you.
Yes, Representative Crusoe.
Thank you, Thank you, Madam Chair. And thank you, Ms. Gold, for your heartfelt presentation and feedback to us. You know, we go to Tallahassee and we change the laws, and we hope we're doing good, and we think we're doing good. And it's nice to hear that what actually took place in the field is what we intended. So that's the only way we know, really. And so we thank you so much for coming in here today and standing before us. And,
I'm very grateful.
And
Thank
our
you.
best wishes for your son Micah and daughter Bella. And we wish them much success.
Thank you. I'm forever grateful. Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Gold.
Thank you.
Up next, Mr. Gallagher from Children's Home Society. On deck, Candace Leonbauer, founder of Tapestry Academy.
Thank you and good morning. My name's Tom Gallagher, and I'm a board member of Children's Home Society of Palm Beach. On behalf of our entire organization, we want to congratulate all of you on your successful campaigns. Yesterday is a landmark date for CHS. Yesterday we celebrated our 120th year of service to the state of Florida, service by prioritizing children and building bridges for their success. So I'm honored and flattered to be invited here today to speak with you, along with a couple of my CHS colleagues. Let me share some exciting news. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. 120 years is a long time. I want to share some exciting news with you about our community partnership school model. Last month, there were 7 new community partnership schools announced for the state of Florida. 2 of them are in Palm Beach County, and they're both first-time Palm Beach County. They are the John F. Kennedy Middle School in Riviera Beach and the Lake Worth Community High School. That brings the state total up to 36 schools participating. Community partnership schools assemble a diverse talent of 4 core partners: the school district, a not-for-profit like CHS, a healthcare partner, healthcare district of Palm Beach, and a local college or university. In this case, it'll be Florida Atlantic University. These organizations make a long-term commitment to and investment in students and are governed by a 25-year memorandum of understanding, which is also a long time. For many students, we know that schools must become more than simply a place to learn, if that were ever simple. They have to provide a hub that serves students and their parents and the community with opportunities to expand learning and to address access to health care, including mental health care services. So we're enormously proud of the positive impact we're having on students overcoming their barriers to education. That positive impact is measured by higher test scores, fewer disciplinary referrals, improved teacher retention, and increased parent engagement. We invite you to grade us continuously on these 4 metrics. We're requesting additional funds to continue implementing and expanding this partnership school model here in Palm Beach County, and I thank you for your enthusiastic service to the state and for your consideration of our mission. We're grateful for your past support, and we are hopeful for continuing that support, and most of all, we're very excited about the prospects of cooperating in a successful 2023 session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Gallagher. And does anyone have any questions for Children's Home Society? Representative Costello.
Thank you, Chair. You said that you're going to be asking for more money. What is your ask?
It hasn't been finalized yet, and I'd be hesitant to throw a number out before the board approves it. Last year, we received $7.1 million.
Okay. Is that a reoccurring?
I think it's renewable every year.
Renewable, okay.
Yes, sir.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Chair.
You know you must have a sponsor in the House, a specific sponsor for a budget bill. So
yes, ma'am.
I'm sure you're working with someone at this point, and if you're not, perhaps one of us on the delegation would be willing to sponsor that in the House. And then, of course, you need a Senate sponsor to do the LEAFR in the House,
yes,
in the Senate. So, any further questions? Thank you so very much for everything you do for children. We totally appreciate everything you do.
Thank you very much for your support. Good
Thank
morning,
you.
ladies and gentlemen.
And I'll turn the gavel back to our chair.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Next up, Candace Liebenhauer, founder of Tapestry Academy. On deck, Renee Lehman, President and CEO, Center for Child Counseling.
Hello, Chair and member of the delegation. My name is Candace Leyenbauer, and I live in Boca Raton in Representative Gossett-Seidman's district. I'd like to tell you about the home-based education program that I started, as well as a non-traditional school directory, and how it provides families in our community with much-needed education options, and why the state should support these families looking to tailor their children's education in a way that best meets their individual needs. I'm a wife and mother of 6 children. That's right, I said 6. And the owner and founder of Tapestry Academy, a home education support program in Boca Raton. After homeschooling our own children for 15 years, we created our program in 2018 out of a desire to provide a stronger community for those seeking an alternative to traditional education. Non-traditional education blends homeschooling and day school together by employing project-based learning and student-led learning. It serves stay-at-home working parents and others who need this type of education for a variety of reasons, but feel that they can't do it on their own. They want to join a community as they help direct the education of their children. A little over a year ago, I started an online directory called microschoolflorida.com to help families discover more non-traditional education opportunities. Today, we have over 81 listings and 185 contacts from the South Florida area. It actually would be the word booming would be the word used to describe non-traditional education in our area. That growth shows how many parents want the ability to customize their children's education by choosing what they study, where they learn, and the pace of learning. They want to build relationships with families and friends who are like-minded. Many non-traditional education programs are not eligible to accept Florida's income-based education choice scholarships. That limits options for families who seek a non-traditional learning environment for their kids but can't afford tuition. That could change if the income-based scholarships became education saving accounts, similar to the Family Empowerment Scholarship for students with unique abilities, giving parents the ability to spend their scholarship funds in a variety of ways, such as tuition, curriculum, tutoring, and materials. Thank you for continuing to support K-12 scholarship programs that allow Florida families to choose the best learning environment for their children. I urge the members of this delegation to consider extending scholarship spending flexibility to all scholarship families so they can customize their children's education to meet their unique and varied needs as they see fit. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate you coming by to speak. Next, Renee Lehman, and on deck, Christopher Courtney from PBSO.
Good morning. My name is Renee Lehman, and I'm the President and CEO of Center for Child Counseling. I'm so grateful to be here with you this morning. For over 23 years, or our organization has been at the forefront of providing children's mental health and services to victims of trauma in Palm Beach County. And I can honestly say to you this morning that we have never confronted a mental health crisis like we're seeing right now in our community. Last year, Center for Child Counseling provided support for over 7,000 children, many facing overwhelming abuse and trauma. Trauma which can really devastate the growing bodies and minds of children. The needs right now are so much greater. Today, our wait list is over 500 kids waiting for services. We have a growing mental health crisis in Palm Beach County, in our state, and in our nation. As a children's mental health organization, our approach is unique. In addition to the treatment we provide, we also provide prevention and early intervention. We utilize a public health framework to mitigate intergenerational cycles of abuse and violence that plague our communities. Adverse childhood experiences and adverse community environments, ACEs, impact the health and wellness of not only our children and families, but our entire community. Big issues that our society is tackling, violence, addiction, child abuse, all have their roots in early childhood and trauma and ACEs. I'm so proud that Center for Child Counseling is addressing childhood trauma and ACEs with real strategies and solutions, with funding from the Children's Services Council, the School District of Palm Beach County Community Services and Youth Services, and many others. Our recent merger with KidSafe is just one example of our dedication to tackling issues that impact our children and communities. I'm so pleased to be here with former KidSafe CEO, Laura Askowitz, who will continue her work fighting child sexual abuse and trafficking in Palm Beach County and Florida as CFCC's new Director of Strategic Development. Thank you to Senator Polsky for your leadership and commitment to this issue. The appropriation that you helped secure for KidSafe in the 2021 legislative session has facilitated KidSafe's introduction to multiple school districts, reaching thousands of students with life-saving personal safety and trafficking prevention education. We look forward to expanding the impact of this critical program with your help. And here today, we are here today because we want you to be aware of these critical issues in our community and let you know that there are solutions. You are the leaders that our community look for help and support. We, with our lobbyist, Matt Spritz, right here, will be meeting with you over the upcoming months to talk more about these critical issues. Thank you.
That was perfect timing. Thank you. I could say you have some great partners there with KidSafe, with Matt. They do a great job. And I look forward to working with you on future help. My question is, you said there's such a large waiting list. If you had more funds, could you hire more counselors? Are there counselors available? How would you help that waiting list?
It's really a perfect storm right now because we have a lack of behavioral health professionals within our community, and especially the work that we do, we start pre-birth, maternal health, infant mental health, early childhood mental health, all the way up to 18 and beyond. One of the things that we're doing to really build the capacity of our community is not only providing the mental health treatment, but we're also building the capacity of provider, like caregivers in our community, parents, foster parents, attorneys. We do training for police officers. We need to build the capacity of not only the behavioral health professionals, who we are training a pipeline of interns. We have 20 interns right now that are going through training, and we hope to hire most of them to build our capacity, but we're also training our community because as behavioral health professionals, we simply can't meet the need. I know every mental health agency that I know right now serving children has a waiting list. So that's the public health framework, prevention, early intervention. That's really the key to making a big difference in our community.
So it occurs to me, and maybe with the help of the delegation, either your organization can help spearhead or others that you might know of. We do incentive programs for nurses, for doctors, for dentists, and I am not aware, if anyone else is, of kind of an incentive program for training schooling of mental health professionals. So maybe that's something, since we have a lack of them in the state and probably in the country, that we can incentivize students to enter the field and become professionals. So
Absolutely. We're dealing with some big issues right now because as a nonprofit, being able to pay therapists what they deserve. We have a lot of our therapists that are going into substance abuse because they can afford to pay more. There are issues there that need to be addressed, but they can afford to pay more. And private therapists, they get more pay. We've invested in raising the salaries of all of our staff, but that comes at a cost of hundreds of thousands of dollars that we have to raise as a nonprofit. So yes, multiple issues, incentives for therapists, but also looking at nonprofits and the work that we're doing and helping to raise funds or provide funds so we can actually have our staff get a living wage in Palm Beach County. I have staff now that are living in Martin County, Port St. Lucie, that are traveling to provide services in Palm Beach County because they can't afford to live in Palm Beach County.
absolutely. Any other questions? Representative Crusoe?
Thank you, Madam Chair. And thank you, Ms. Lehman, for your presentation today. You mentioned the 500 on the waiting list, 500 children. How many children do you serve a year?
Approximately 7,000. That was 2021. It's going to be even more this year. And 500, we're proud because we got the number down from 900 just a few months ago. And through some youth services funding, we've changed our whole framework of how we provide services and bringing on mental health specialists that are bachelor level that can provide a tier of early intervention to all of the children coming into our agency.
Thank you. Follow up, Madam Chair. Yes. And how much to take care of these 500 on the waiting list? What kind of funding would it take?
Well,
to have a waiting list of zero.
Right. So it's building the capacity of our organization. Right now, we are hiring mental health specialists that when we have an intake with the family, if they're, slight behavioral issues or things going on, stressors, there may be a divorce, to be able to provide mental health consultation for a few months before having their biopsychosocial for mental health treatment. So immediately we're looking at hiring 5 mental health specialists that can provide that level of support. That we'll be able to triage those families immediately to some level of care, be able to assess, well, do they really need mental health treatment, which is a formal biopsychosocial assessment, a treatment plan. It's really turning the children's mental health framework on its head, where we were not really assessing immediately with a diagnosis, an additional level of support. So that comes with a cost when you look at those staffing positions that we're seeking funding for.
Thank you. Senator Harrell, Vice Chair Harrell.
Thank you very much, and I do a lot of legislation in this arena, so I'm very interested in what you're saying and would love to meet with you informally at another time. However, I know we have put a huge amount of resources into school mental health. Does your organization partner with the Palm Beach County School District to provide services within the school itself?
Yes. Extensively. We have a contract with the school district. We are in 15 elementary schools where we are co-located, and we also have a cooperative agreement with the school district, and we go into about 60 schools throughout the community. The funding that we get through the school district, it really has a lot of criteria around it, and those children can only be seen for 13 sessions, and that's really focused on that individual therapy. We do have a model that framework of prevention, early intervention. We don't think we should wait for a child to fall apart emotionally before we do something. So we have a preschool to elementary school pipeline where we want children entering kindergarten ready to learn. We know that stress, maternal stress, early stress in infancy can really impact the growing brain. So a lot of our work is really in those early stages. We want them on track, ready to learn by kindergarten, and definitely by 3rd grade, because there is that pipeline for a lot of difficulties in middle school and high school if children are not on track and ready to learn by 3rd grade.
Thank you very much. And I'd just like to mention, that workforce is a major issue in this arena, and I'll be introducing legislation again this year to expand our workforce. So would look for your partnerships.
Yes, in early childhood also, funding for that, too.
Excellent. Representative Waldron.
Yeah, I just have a general question for you. What would you say, how do services for mental health for children in Florida, our state, compare to other states around the country?
Well, gosh, that's a big question. That's beyond the scope of time here. We rank pretty low. I think I'm very proud in Palm Beach County. There's so much innovation within Palm Beach County. In Florida, unfortunately, I've been through Leadership Florida and been able to visit all of the state. There's no real system within Florida for children's mental health. In Palm Beach County, we have wonderful initiatives. Children's Services Council, we have our Healthy Beginning system, which we're a part of. We have the Birth to 22 initiative. So there's a lot of innovation within our community, and we play a big role within that system in Palm Beach County. But there's more needed.
Thank you.
Representative Roth.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Couple thoughts. Talking more about funding. Can you explain to us what your other sources of funding are? Because we really do need to. We do really realize there is a mental health crisis in Florida, and school systems, and how mental health providers have been hired by the school system. So there's a shortage and all that. Could you explain what your funding sources are? Other funding sources other than the schools?
Yes, so we bill insurance. We are a Medicaid provider, so we bill about $1.5 million a year at Medicaid. Children's Services Council, we have 2 big contracts with them. Palm Beach County Community Service, Palm Beach County Youth Services, Quantum Foundation, Lost Tree Foundation, individual donors, pretty much most of the foundations, and Mirasol, we go to everybody for funding. So we have over 55 different funders and then individual donors that support the work that we're doing. We have 9 clinical programs that provide services for children and families.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You mentioned something in your opening remarks that kind of sometimes goes unnoticed. One of the issues that is important to me and to the agricultural community in rural Florida is the large influx of immigrants we're going to be having that are coming across the border, and it's really going to cause problems with our healthcare system, our hospital system. It's going to affect a lot of things, and what I'm concerned, you mentioned one thing specifically, I think it was child trafficking. I first ran into that issue with Place of Hope up in Palm Beach Gardens, focusing on how much trafficking really is in the state of Florida. Can you explain a little more what how you deal with that, and do you work with the state of Florida or the state attorney? I mean, Ashley Moody, or how do you deal with that issue?
So our clinicians actually provide trauma treatment to victims of sexual abuse, human trafficking, exploitation. So we have a childhood trauma response program that actually provides the services for those children. Using our public health framework, that was really the idea behind our merger with KidSafe. We want to prevent that from happening in the first place. So that's very important for us. Why we don't need to wait for a child to be trafficked or experience sexual abuse. We know the research shows that we can actually prevent these things from happening. And when you talk about immigrant communities or the adults in children's lives, a big part of our model is actually providing trauma treatment to the parents. For better or worse, we've all been kids, and we bring those experiences into our work or our parenting of children. So a part of disrupting those intergenerational cycles of abuse and trauma is actually dealing with the caregiver's trauma. Or if you have a teacher in a classroom that has been through trauma, that can impact their work in the classroom. So it's a very complicated issue, but we're really bringing national research to Palm Beach County to address these issues.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Obviously, there's a lot of interest and need, so I'm sure, and hopefully you'll come visit us in Tallahassee and work with us on,
yes.
and I know there'll be some
Yes.
appropriations down the pike, and we're happy to support that. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Of course. Christopher Courtney, and then up next is Carlton Cartwright.
Hi, good morning. Good morning. My name is Christopher Courtney. I'm a 911 public safety telecommunicator for the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. With me today are Section Manager Ashley Zahler and Training Supervisor Sally Panozo, also with the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. And among the three of us, we have 48 years of experience in public safety telecommunications. We appreciate this opportunity to highlight our effort and seek your support to have 911 public safety telecommunicators in the state of Florida recognized as first responders. So less than 2 months ago, dispatchers from our agency, along with dispatchers from other agencies throughout Florida, deployed to the state's west coast after the devastation caused by Hurricane Ian. We traveled there to provide some relief to those dispatchers who had spent days giving life-sustaining advice and guidance to those who were clinging to life while conditions were too rough to send physical responders. They worked heroically throughout the disaster without days off, without knowing if their homes were still intact, while concerned for the safety and welfare of their loved ones, just like the callers pleading for help and answers. Hurricane Ian wasn't our first deployment alongside the physical responders, and we don't think it's going to be our last either. So our push for reclassification has its roots in the Homeland Security Act of 2002, which defines the term first responder as individuals who, in the early stages of an incident, are responsible for the protection and preservation of life, property, evidence, and the environment. Each call placed to 911 tasks us with the great responsibility of orchestrating the early stages of public safety response, from the first question we ask the caller to the first keystroke we make in one of our various computer systems. We meet this pressing demand while contending with numerous setbacks: high turnover rates, challenges to our work-life balance, susceptibility to PTSD, and a lack of closure to those situations in which we become emotionally invested are just a few. And also upcoming improvements to the 911 system, including picture and video messaging, will usher telecommunications professionals to the front row of traumatic human experience more than ever. We know that recognizing our profession under the better suited category of first responder would be the first step in mitigating some of these stressors. Fortunately, several states have already taken the step of transitioning our role from the umbrella of administrative work to the more appropriate category of emergency first responder. And with your help, we're confident that Florida will soon join that list. And we thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you so much. I feel like we've heard this. Do you know if the bill has been presented? And can you tell us what's happened with that bill and also what the opponents to the bill are saying?
There was a bill last session that never got out of committee. I don't know what the reasoning for it was or what the opponents were saying about it. I did follow it, but it was never got out of committee. So.
And do you know if it's being presented again this year?
I don't know. We are looking for a sponsor if we would like to present one for this year for sure.
And is Palm Beach County kind of the source of this, or is this a statewide effort?
It's a statewide effort. Fortunately, it has gained momentum in about 17 different states. And what it helps to do is it kind of seems like a matter of semantics just to name us a first responder versus physical responder and whatnot. But it does have some real implications as far as inadequacies in compensation, the working environment in general, training opportunities, and high-risk benefits in retirement. So it kind of just groups us together into a better suited category since we do experience a lot of the same stressors. And as I mentioned, the Next Gen 911 projects that are coming as communication has evolved, we will be susceptible and presented with those traumas in more ways than we currently are.
Thank you so much. Yes, perfect, the firefighter. Representative Casella.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Being a former firefighter for a lot of years, I can tell you your value is much appreciated when we're rolling out of the station 2, 3 in the morning. The information that you pass on to the first responder going to the scene is invaluable, invaluable. And I would be proud, if you don't already have a sponsor this year for that bill, I would be glad that my office would be proud to take that up. I think it's important.
We do appreciate that.
And I think it's very important. You go through the same stress, if sometimes not more, getting that raw information at first and then passing it on. So I thank you for your service, and we'd be more than welcome to sit down and talk with you and formulate a bill and see if we can get it through some committees.
Thank you, Representative Casello. And I was doing my research before coming here, and I did see that you were part of a public safety subcommittee for the last delegation, so I was going to name you specifically. But we really do appreciate that, and we do hope that forward momentum with this will have many positive outlooks and benefits to the career in general. Thank you.
I'm your guy. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you for volunteering for that, Rep. Casello. And I know a certain retired firefighter in the Senate who you should call as well.
I got it.
Representative Roth.
Yes, just a point of order. If you would, please, if you would provide Vicki Nolan, if you could do a little research for us and give us the last year's bill and bill sponsor so we can look into that. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for your I'm sorry, Representative Casello. I'm Caruso.
Silverman. Thank you for coming here today and your presentation and making us aware of this situation. I just had a question as to your service that you provide, and thank you for your service. If I was to call 911 and I had an emergency, do you do more than just take down my information? You start giving aid over the phone, don't you?
Correct.
Is that still the case?
So here in Palm Beach County, we actually have 15 different PSAPs is what we call them. They stand for Public Safety Answering Points. So depending on where you are geographically in the county, your initial call will go to a primary PSAP, and depending on the services that the caller needs, they may get conferenced into a secondary PSAP, which would be Palm Beach County Fire Rescue or Florida Atlantic University here in the Boca Raton area, as well as FHP if it's an incident occurring on one of the highways. So the experience of calling 911, you'll be connected to a call taker who goes through years of training, and they hone their practice and just through general call taking and their own experiences to assist callers, and they pass that information while remaining on the phone to the dispatchers, who are then sending the physical aid via radio airwaves. So depending on the size of the PSAP, sometimes it's one person handling both tasks, which is why we're kind of advocating to have this as a statewide initiative to help those centers especially that have staffing crises and who handle it all from call taking and dispatching at the same time.
Follow up, Madam Chair?
Yes, please, but we are running a little tight on time.
I'll be quick.
Thank you.
Trying to think how old my son is now, 27 or 28 years ago, I called 911. He wasn't breathing, and a 911 responder talked me through CPR, and we got him breathing. And I just was curious, is that something you would do today?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay,
yep.
Great. So, yeah, you're definitely providing protection and preservation of life. So,
thank you very much.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you so much for your service. Appreciate you coming forward. Next up, we have Carlton Cartwright, and on deck, Catherine Uden.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Carlton Cartwright. I'm the Executive Director for Veterans Memorial and Multicultural Histories Incorporated, and I have on the wrong glasses. Excuse me. Who laughed at that?
No, I had the same thing, promise.
Okay. Here we go. Please consider these updates. Veterans Memorial and Multicultural Histories Incorporated, previously known as the Children's Coalition Incorporated, was provided the opportunity to present the Veterans History Project to every JROTC high school in the Palm Beach County School District over the past 17 years, and we have completed over 300 interviews across the United States of veterans, military veterans, since 2005. Please see the attached interview list compiled from 2019 to 2023. A hyperlink to all interviews is provided by the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C. The U.S. Congress awarded us a total of almost $300,000 from 2005 to 2008 through the Department of Education. Our partnerships include the Department of Veterans Affairs, Palm Beach County Board of Commissioners, and the Palm Beach County School District. Additional sponsorship has been provided by South Arts, National Endowment of the Arts, and the Division of Arts and Culture in Tallahassee. We completed 10 veterans interviews at Riviera Beach Preparatory Achievement Academy from 2021 to 2022 in the classroom, introducing students to the world of documentary cinematography. We have also provided students with opportunities to serve as pages and messengers to the House and Senate staff at the Capitol in Tallahassee. Over the course of the last 2 decades, we have produced on average 45 to 50 interviews since 2019 of veterans and other individuals, which I'll bring up shortly. We have interviewed veterans regarding every military engagement from World War II to present day, keeping in mind a sense of urgency that thousands of our veterans are dying each day from a variety of circumstances that includes natural causes to instances of suicide. We are in the process of creating our social media presence to take our cross-cultural unity and healing effort to another level that will engage the community at large through a new endeavor, the Dolphins Dream Multicultural Project. The project director will provide daily oversight of funding and advise the board on expenditures in consultation with the treasurer. In 2023, the DDMC is requesting sponsorship in the amount of $330,000 to renovate an existing facility, purchase equipment, administrative and personnel costs and benefits, including insurance and FICA, in the amount of $885,000 for a total of $1.2 million. In year 2024 to 2025, DDMC is seeking $6.7 million in sponsorship to build a state-of-the-art facility in Palm Beach County. This facility will showcase all the great American culture and historical contributions to the country. The DDMC project, will bring awareness, social activities and services and opportunities to our communities.
Thank you.
Our board is made up of individuals from around the state of Florida. I just wanted to point that out. Also point that we'd like to make is that we're also extremely bipartisan in this effort, and we are continuing our effort at Riviera Beach Preparatory Achievement Academy. And
Thank you so much, Mr. Cartwright.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for your service, and thank you for taking care of other veterans. Is the money you're seeking going to be a state appropriation request?
Well, yes, I addressed, I think it was back in 2003, this body, and wound up getting sponsorship from a particular congressperson. So I decided to come back and go through this process again. That's why I'm here today.
Okay, so after the meeting, maybe you could speak to some individual members about who could possibly sponsor it and make sure that you go through the right steps.
I actually look forward to addressing everybody in this delegation over the near future, and excuse me, I apologize for stuttering.
That's okay, and just the sooner the better, because...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I just got, was advised to get on this path a couple of weeks ago, and by the grace of God, I was able to make it here.
Wonderful.
And,
Thank you so much. Okay. Representative Cassell, I'm trying to move it along, so we have like 6 more and only 20 minutes left.
Yes, sir.
Real quick, Madam Chair, I just want to thank you, Carlton. I know when you came up and interviewed me for my time in my service, and it was really it brought me back. Some of the questions were deep, and the memories were wonderful, and I thank you for doing that. And to know that I'm in the Congress, the Library of the Congress somewhere, it's really fulfilling. So thank you for your service to this country.
At the heart of the project, it's a way that was brought forward from Congress, from the President at that time, to honor veterans for their service as honorable military service to the country, to the United States of America.
Thank you, Madam
Thank
Chair.
you, Mr. Cartwright. Next up is Catherine Uden, and on deck is Evan Orlano from Surfrider.
Good morning. Good to see many of you again. My name is Catherine Uden. I am the South Florida Field Representative for Oceana, a nonprofit organization dedicated solely to the protection of the oceans. Scientists estimate that 33 billion pounds of plastic wash into the ocean every year. That equates to about 2 garbage trucks worth of plastic entering the ocean every minute. Plastic is made from oil and gas. It is one of the greatest contributors to climate change. In fact, if plastic were a country, it would be the 5th largest emitter of greenhouse gases in the world. Plastic bags and food containers are among the most common plastic waste items found on our beaches. Manatees and sea turtles are ingesting and becoming entangled in plastic bags. Plastic food containers are ending up on our streets and beaches, eventually breaking up into smaller pieces that contaminate our food, water, air, and soil. The country's recycling rate dropped below 6% in 2021. Current projections show plastic production tripling by 2050, which will result in more plastic in the ocean. Oceana is urging the Florida State Legislature to reverse its law prohibiting local governments from enacting policies to regulate plastic bags and other single-use plastics. In a 2021 retail bags report from the FDEP to the Florida State Legislature, the DEP says that single-use plastics such as retail bags and carry-out food containers are among those materials commonly identified as needing additional control. Lastly, we urge you to support an update of the Florida's balloon release law. Balloons are deadly to key wildlife populations and are the deadliest form of plastic debris for seabirds. Balloons and their ribbons present a threat of entanglement and ingestion to birds and marine wildlife, as well as horses, cows, and other animals. Balloon pollution has been found in remote areas of the Florida Everglades. Balloons can also become entangled in power lines, and mylar balloons have caused fires and power outages. Because of these dangers, balloon releases have been banned in many cities, counties, and beachfront parks across the state of Florida. Jacksonville recently passed a balloon release ban, and a councilman said it was their most popular piece of legislation ever. Despite the wildlife impacts associated with balloon debris, it's currently legal in Florida to release up to 10 balloons per day. In essence, it's legal to litter. Balloons released into the environment, even latex balloons marketed as biodegradable, act just like other plastic waste, clogging storm drains, fouling habitats, and threatening wildlife such as endangered sea turtles. Florida should not allow exemptions for biodegradable balloons. Please support both the repeal of the preemptions regarding single-use plastics and polystyrene foam, and please support an update of the state's balloon release law. Thank you. And Travis Moore is your contact in Tallahassee for Oceana. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I know Travis well. Quick question, has this balloon release law change been proposed before?
I don't think it has on the statewide level, which is why many municipalities of local governments have taken action. So, there's strong public support for just doing it on the statewide level and making sure that we educate people that this is a harmful practice.
Excellent. Any questions, comments? Thank you so much. Appreciate everything that you do.
Yeah. Thank you.
And on the same subject, Evan, please approach. And next up will be Justin Katz from the public comment section.
Thank you, representatives and senators in the council delegation. My name is Evan Oriana. I'm the regional manager for the Surfrider Foundation for Florida and Puerto Rico. I'm a Delray Beach resident in Palm Beach County for the last 25 years. And I'm here today to talk about clean water. It's a personal issue for me. Just recently, after fishing for several days at the start of snook season, I contracted staph infection and was in a hospital for almost a week at the local municipal beach here in Delray. There are major gaps within our water testing system and our alerts. Had there been better testing, better alerts, I might not have entered the water like several hundred people did that week. As you know, Florida gets over 100 million visitors every year, especially last year. Our clean water-driven economy creates millions of jobs, billions of dollars in our economy as well. And the Surfrider Foundation, we support and protect our oceans, beaches, and the people who love them. We are here to support the Safe Waterways Act and all legislative efforts to expand the authority of the Florida Department of Health to protect that health, safety, and welfare of our beachgoers, especially here in our great state of Florida. We also would like to improve beach water quality testing and provide a much better, robust system of advisories and notices. Currently, the Florida Health Department is not allowed to close down a beach if the bacteria levels are too high, only issue advisories. So it is up to the local municipalities and the counties to issue that and close the beach. Sometimes that is delayed, sometimes it takes a while to get the word out, hence what happened to me and staph infection. We are aware that Senator Berman plans to refile this bill, and we look forward to supporting that in the 2023 legislation. Furthermore, the Surfrider Foundation supports a $500,000 appropriation for the Florida Healthy Beaches program. This program is key to provide water testing throughout our state, basically know before you go, so visitors, residents, and people in this area can find out what the quality of the water is before they recreate at our beaches. There are big gaps in the northern section. They only test during certain seasonal months. Throughout the state, it's biweekly, hence where I got staff was in between those testing. And again, the notification system needs major overhaul. All of this is really to ensure the adequate water testing in Florida for our state, especially with this tourism-driven economy. Unfortunately, the Florida Healthy Beaches program has only seen funding twice in the last 10 years, most recent being in 2019. So we do ask that you continue to support and protect our right to clean water as something all Floridians deserve. And I thank you.
Thank you so much. The appropriation you were talking about, is that done by individual senator and representative? And do you have anyone lined up, or not, have you had in the past?
I believe we are still looking. Our policy manager, Emma Hadesy, has a little more information I can get with anybody who's interested in more about that.
Yeah, I mean, certainly in Palm Beach, we have many of us represent the coast, so you might be able to get some from us, but it's fine anywhere across the state as well, wherever you can get someone. Representative Gossett-Seidman.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I will let you know from a municipal level in my previous situation, my previous role, that the cities and municipalities are informed of unsafe water through the media. And apparently there is a chain of command, a process that maybe needs to be looked at, because the DEP, the health department, whatever other roles are included, presents the findings to the media, and the municipalities find out that way. And so there should be perhaps a review of that process. And just a comment on the balloons. I'm a boater, and I will say that we come home many times with seats full of plastic, everything from deck chairs to balloons, and that perhaps the boating industry could assist in encouraging boaters to pick up what they can out at sea. So those are my comments on the two issues. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Representative Caruso.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thanks for your presentation, Mr. Orellana. I'd be interested in carrying the bill from the House side, if you don't have a House sponsor yet.
Yes, absolutely.
So I look forward to my office will get in touch with yours.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate the work that you all do. Up next, Justin Katz, Palm Beach County Classroom Teachers Association. Justin, I'm sorry to do this to you. We're going to start on 2 minutes because we have 5 speakers. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
We only have a few minutes left. Please.
I'll talk fast. Thank you. First, congratulations to those of you who were elected or re-elected. I look forward to reaching out to you and working with you in the sphere that I tend to operate in, which is public education. As the chairwoman said, my name is Justin Katz. I'm the president of the Palm Beach County Classroom Teachers Association, the countywide teachers union here. We have over 7,000 members and represent over 12,000 employees in the school district each year through contract negotiations and so forth. While it may seem like everything in public education these days is entangled in politics and very partisan, I don't believe that to be the case, and there are many issues that could improve public education, improve our staff shortages and teacher shortages, and thereby the quality of education we provide our students that I don't believe are political. One of which is the current Florida statute 1012.22, which has a number of provisions that dictate teacher compensation and rules and regulations. Over time, this law has evolved and been added layer after layer over the past 12 years to create almost 24 rules and regulations that govern teacher compensation, things that I've never heard a Democrat or Republican say that they support, but they do end up in law, typically through conforming bills at the end of the legislative session, whereby they have not been heard by committees, not been debated or discussed. or had public input. A couple of those examples would be, you might not know that there are a number of advanced degrees in education that are prohibited by law to give compensation to teachers. So if teachers go and get master's and doctoral degrees in education, that statute has language which says you cannot compensate them. Things like curriculum design, education technology, education leadership. If you're a classroom teacher and you get these degrees, the law says you can't be paid for them. It disincentivizes education. There are laws that restrict the compensation and cost of livings. I'll finish up. I apologize. This past year, as we know, inflation has been very high. Did you know in Florida there's language in that statute that says that any cost of living increase must be 50% of any raise that you give to teachers, which means if you had saw fit to fund a 7% cost of living increase just to match inflation this year, districts could not have given that because they would have then had to give a 50% higher raise, a 14% raise, which would not be funded. These are weird, convoluted pieces of language that have snuck their way in over time, and I'd just like to have conversations with you guys and gals about how to take this law that has evolved into over 20 regulations that disincentivizes people coming to the profession and just make it better. Everybody has concerns about overregulation. The teaching compensation in the state is overregulated, and I think everybody wants to get our staff up to full capacity, whether you're Democrat or Republican. So thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Justin. I know on behalf of all of us, we appreciate the input that you give us during session. Education law is very complicated, and we appreciate the work that you do. Thank you so much. Did you? Good. Okay. Next, we have Daniel Wilson. I see that he's speaking about the 911 responders, so I think you know we're all in favor of that, so hopefully your comments can be quick. Thank you.
Well, then, maybe I should just sit down, but I did prepare something, so this way I can expense my mileage. I'll just do this, okay? So I am a member of the National Emergency Number Association, the 911 people, and that's what I'm here to talk about. I was also involved in Carrie's Law, which was a thing that we worked on when a woman died because she couldn't dial 911 because she required to dial a 9 first. So just be aware of that. That's the law of the land, and if it's not what you're experiencing, please let us know. But today we're here to talk about the 911 telecommunicators. And will they be deemed as first responders? Well, they're the first ones to get the call. They're the first ones to respond. I think we might be agreeing now. It seems to be a no-brainer, but we do want to make that the law to give these telecommunicators all of the things they need to be successful. The reason I mention this is sometimes contrarians say, well, the call takers get to go home to their family at the end of the day. They're not in physical harm. But we know that's not true. They might not be physical scars, but there are injuries for sure for what these people go through to keep us safe. I met with the telecommunicators in Uvalde, Texas, for that horrible mass shooting. And you know what? Sometimes we say, the person who's calling 911, it's the worst day of their life. Perhaps this gentleman who had to call when his son was in trouble. But it's just a normal day for the 911 telecommunicators. So, that's how important they are. Those Uvalde call takers went back to work immediately, serving the public even after when they went through. So it's time we recognize these heroes, honor them for their noble work, but more importantly, give them the support and help that is afforded to all first responders. The first responder dispatcher designation is deserved and well earned. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And I think you know that our delegation seems supportive. So thank you.
Madam Chair?
Yes, sir.
Point of procedure?
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to extend the meeting 15 minutes.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So moved. We have just 3 more speakers, so we want to give everyone the opportunity to speak since they came here. Some of you have traveled. So next up, Dominic Phillips, then Kay Gates, and then finally Linda Smith.
My name is Dominic Phillips, and I'm here today to talk about Florida Statute 768.21, subsection 8, better known as the Florida Free Kill Law. Last year, November 8th, my mom was a recent victim of this law after minor gallbladder surgery. Someone wrongfully killed my mom, and I cannot access the courts basically because she's not married and over the age of 25 and has no children under the age of 25. This law is unjust and it's not fair. My mom's life mattered. My mom was my best friend, and someone took that away from me, and there's no accountability for that. That person is able to do the same mistake again. I've lived in Florida since 1984. I'm 43 years old. I've been working since last year to try to help change this law by having gatherings and get-togethers locally and spreading awareness about a law that people don't know about. I learned about this law the hard way, like most of us do. I'm actually going to Tallahassee this year, and we're going to be renting a bus and having more victims come with us because this law is outdated and it needs to change. We're not talking about money here or a lawsuit. We're talking about accountability and not having this same mistake happen again. Florida's the only state to have this law, and it's time for it to end. So I'm here to ask you to help end this law. I don't need 3 minutes. I appreciate you guys extending the meeting. I'm open for any questions.
Thank you. I'm so sorry for your loss, and I appreciate your advocacy. I know as long as I've been on the delegation, there's always been someone at these meetings to talk about this particular law, and they have always found sponsors for the bill. Unfortunately, the bill just hasn't moved, but appreciate that you keep trying. It's important that your voice is heard. Have any questions? Representative Roth?
I'm sorry, tell me your name again, please.
My name is Dominic Phillips, and I do want to say to you, Rick Roth, right?
Mm-hmm.
My condolences to your daughter. I heard she was a Florida free kill as well.
Actually, it was my sister.
Your sister, I'm sorry about
She
that.
passed away during session in 2019. Sir, yeah, I'd like to get your phone number. I think Spencer Roach was a bill sponsor last year, I believe. So yes, we do need to move forward on this. Thank you. You're doing the right thing by bringing people to Tallahassee. Thank you very much.
I really appreciate that.
That does make a difference. Thank you.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Anyone else have any questions? So we'll see you in Tallahassee.
Yes, we will. Thank you.
Thank you. I think it's Kay Gates.
Hi. Thanks for being here, and thanks for listening to us. My name is Kay Gates. I've lived in Florida for about 24 years now. I've been an active member of the environmental community. I want to just reiterate that the environment is a nonpartisan issue in the state of Florida. I appreciate the fact that the current administration has supported Everglades restoration. I trust that that will continue in this next legislative session. I'd like to extend an invitation to all of you to the Everglades Coalition Annual Conference, January 26th to 28th. It's going to be in Coral Springs. I realize you'll be in Tallahassee, but it would be really great if you could send one of your local assistants to the Everglades Coalition, January 26th to 28th in Coral Springs. You can find it online. It's a great opportunity to learn the nuts and bolts of Everglades restoration. I'm sure of all of you here present were against the last session's anti-homeowners solar bill. I appreciate that the governor vetoed it. And I would like all of you to continue your support to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, support green energy in all its forms, especially home and small solar arrays in our Sunshine State. Last but not least, I want to mention social justice and equity issue is a big problem here in South Florida. The sugar industry shares lots of political funding and influence. I'm hoping that those of you here can influence the sugar industry back. They continue their outdated practice of burning cane trash. It is a detriment to the health of our residents of the Glades area. There's, I'm sure you know, the Stop the Burn, Go Green campaign in the Glades, and the local environmental community supports them. We'd like you to support them too. This burning cane is an outdated practice. Please support green harvesting. That cane trash can be used for energy production and biogas to create more jobs and energy. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Could you send the information on the meeting to Vicki, and she will get it to all of us? It's much easier if we have it right in front of us and we can put it in our calendar, and then I'm sure many of us will be able to send our staff.
Did you want just the information on
the meeting you were discussing in Coral Springs? That one.
Right. Okay.
Just so we have, she often sends us invites to events, and that will help us get there.
I will.
Anyone have any questions? Thank you. Okay, last but not least, Ms. Linda Smith, also on the environment. Always a busy topic in Palm Beach County.
Thank you. And for the record, the FCO conference she talked about is also virtual, so you can attend in Tallahassee. My name is Linda Smith, Jupiter, Florida, member of many environmental organizations, and specifically the Sierra Club Loxahatchee Group as ExCom chair. I've addressed this body in the past, bringing gifts of Sierra Club calendars and reusable drinking cups. Sorry, they're not all being used today. This year, no gifts, but congratulations to all the new members. I have to cut this short, so it is time for Florida to get serious about climate change. The time is now. Yes, property insurance will be addressed. Florida dodged two huge bullets, Ian and Nicole. What if Ian had bobbled 75 or 100 miles north? And what if Nicole had bobbled south? No amount of legislation could address this scale of loss. Governor DeSantis created and appointed a chief resilience officer, and after 6 months, they left the office, pulling their hair out and screaming. Florida lacks a coherent strategy to deal with climate change. We need more funding for resiliency, and resources must help low-income coastal and inland residents. Again, justice, environmental justice for all. With our limestone foundation, Florida will experience saltwater intrusion for our drinking water. We all need to reduce single-use plastic that has already been discussed here today. We need less packaging. It is just wasteful. We need to increase the use of renewable energy. Waste to energy is not the answer on any level. Putting dioxins into the air is never a good idea. The wasteful business model for single-use plastic in packaging, water bottles, soda bottles, etc., is just wrong and wasteful. We need more home and businesses, energy efficiency and water efficiency, and I can give you specifics. Thank you.
Whoops. Thank you so much. We appreciate your advocacy. Any questions, anyone? Okay. With that, Representative Casello moves that we adjourn the meeting. There's nothing further before the delegation. Thank you all so much for attending, and we look forward to seeing you. When is the next meeting? December 7th. Thank you so much.